Ranking up in Valorant is one of the most rewarding feelings you'll ever get playing the game. But what is the absolute best way to consistently rank up quickly? Today, I'll be going over everything you need to know to maximize the speed of which you rank up. The first thing I see a lot of players do in lower ranks like Plat, Diamond, and Ascended is thinking they're better than their rank because they're top fragging with 1 to 5 kills. And because they're top fragging and their team is losing, they get a terrible mentality. They ask themselves, how are we losing? I am carrying so hard. Listen, if you want to rank up quickly, when you're top fragging, your mentality should be, I'm only top fragging with 2 kills. I need to step up. And never, how are we losing when I'm top fragging? This pity mentality is something I see on Twitter all the time. I see people who are in Diamond tweeting, how did we lose this? And they top frag with like 30 kills and the guy under them has 27. So in short, you should expect yourself to be top fragging, and by a lot, not just by 2 kills. By doing this, you trick your brain into being a more confident player and you'll perform way better in your matches. In lower ranks, you have to hard focus on your individual skill. Relying on teammates in Diamond is incredibly stupid. Naturally, if you have a friend that you always play with, it makes it a bit easier. But I know a lot of you guys watching are solo queuing at least half the time you play, and therefore improving as an individual player is essential. Now, the absolute fastest way to improve is to go back and rewatch your games. Then figure out your weaknesses from that game, isolate them, and work incredibly hard on them. Watching back games can be done by recording the games with OBS, free recording and streaming software, NVIDIA Shadowplay, Metal, or any other recording software you want to use. A lot of people play brainlessly, never questioning their flaws in the way they play. And I believe this is one of the main reasons people stagnate at certain ranks. That might be Diamond 3 or Immortal 3. Simply put it, if you want to rank up as fast as possible, you gotta face the hard and honest truth. And that is that if you are a low rank, I don't care if that's Platinum, Diamond, or even Ascended, you 100% have some weaknesses and you need to put in the hours in order to improve them. Another mentality trait you need to have is being able to take each match you play as an individual match. A lot of players who are unbelievably talented mechanically unfortunately get in the habit of rage queuing. They lose a game and think, I need to queue to get back my RR. Having this mentality that you need to queue and get back the RR you lost in your previous game can very often, as we all know, lead to a serious losing streak. What you instead want to do is hop into a new match not thinking a second about the previous one. What I like to do if I start the day off terribly, where I underperform and lose a game, is think that my second match of the day is the first one. By thinking like this, you make sure you put all your focus in the right place, and as a result of that, you'll find yourself playing way better. What's very important, however, is to, of course, go back to that bad match after you're done playing for the day and find out why you underperformed. Another incredible strategy to become a more consistent player with fewer mistakes is to spend some time on aim trainers every day. Now, the plan here isn't to play aim trainers so much that you don't have time to play the actual game, because that just doesn't work. So if you're someone who only has time to play for about an hour a day, I don't recommend playing aim trainers. But if you're gonna play for 3+ hours every day, then you better spend at least 30 minutes on aim trainers. By doing this, we find a balance which is highly effective for our improvement, and naturally also our rank. The 3 best aim trainers out there are Aimlab, which is totally free, KovaaK, which is about $10, and Aimbeast, which is $20. You get a more than good enough aim trainer with Aimlab, and I highly recommend starting there. I'm gonna leave a very good aim routine for Aimlabs down in the description of this video, so please do yourself a favor and check that video out. Try it out for a month or so and let me know how much more consistent of an aimer you have become. Moving on, we have to talk about the benefits of watching professionals play. Watching pros play will give us a much better understanding of what to do and what not to do when playing. A lot of people that want to rank up spend a lot of time watching players that aren't good at the game on YouTube and Twitch. And of course, this is fine. But if you want to rank up as quickly as possible, you should be consuming content from players who are better than you. This is because even though we might not think about the fact that we are learning when watching, it is a a very real thing. We catch on to small smart plays that streamers make and subconsciously adapt them into our own way of playing. One common mistake a tremendous amount of players make, however, is trying to copy a professional player's playstyle. Flat out copying someone else's playstyle is something we must avoid at all costs, because we need to realize that we are very different to other players. We have a different skill set. Our strengths are most likely very different from Tense's strengths, and therefore will not be beneficial to flat out copy his playstyle. What I do recommend is watching a handful of pros and finding the player that plays the closest to your playstyle, because more than likely, this is the player you can learn the most from watching. If you're a duelist, watch someone who mains that duelist. If you prefer playing initiators, you watch someone who mains an initiator. This way, we effectively watch and learn from the people who are better than us. Now, I do want to emphasize that you need to play more than you watch. But when you watch Valorant players, try to watch someone who plays at a professional level, as there are many proven benefits to doing so. Next up, I gotta talk about doing everything you can to win your games. If you guys have watched any of my previous 3 videos, you know I really focus on winning at all costs. And if you want to rank up as quickly as possible, this is the mentality you need to have. So what do I mean by winning at all costs? Some players don't play lineups because they consider them cringe and unskillful. But if you want to rank up as quickly as you can, you better play those lineups. Playing lineups is the easiest way to secure important rounds. And by playing lineups, you'll probably find yourself winning a lot more games. And as a result of that, you'll be playing against the better players, and again, improving your own skill level because you've done what's needed to rank up. I strongly recommend adapting this win at all cost mentality, because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna get you to rank up the fastest way possible. If you are incredibly stuck in a rank and you find it very difficult to find your weaknesses and you don't know what you should play to improve at all, I recommend considering a coach. Now, a coach does cost a little bit of money, but if you do some research, you can get one very cheap. Or even better, if you have a friend that is a higher rank than you can ask him or her to go over a few of your games. And what I want you to do is say to them, please be brutally honest. What is my biggest flaw as a player? And what do I need to improve on to become better? By doing this, you show them that you're not only eager to improve, but you're also very willing to listen to their criticism. A lot of the time, your friend or coach will see a lot of mistakes that you might not even have thought about. There is a saying that there is no improvement without feedback, and there is a lot of truth in that. Feedback greatly helps shorten down the time it takes to improve. You can give yourself feedback by going over your VODs on your own, and you can get an outside perspective by getting a friend or coach to go over your matches. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. And thank you guys so much for the unbelievable amount of support I've gotten over the past few days. It honestly means the absolute world to me. And you guys make me so happy.